Good afternoon and welcome to Boom Market Stock Show. This is your host, Rian Hobson, and we're doing actually the story of coal today because the coal prices are actually rocking up and it continue actually to go down. Now, there was a convoy that came to South Africa in September with a part of rich nations that actually literally was telling South Africa to exit coal. That is now basically the topic of today. Now, 90% of South Africa's energy or electricity is still coming from coal, although we did sign the Paris Agreement where they say at 2030 we need to cut it by a third. That is now our usage of coal. And by 2050, we will be totally exiting the coal usage in South Africa. Now, the thing is, South Africa has been building two power stations for the last 10 years. It cost about 20 billion rand, both of them combined. It's actually now sitting at a $500 billion. So do you really think that South Africa will stick to that agreement? That we will discuss after the break, but there is some real issues when it comes to electricity, excuse me, when it comes to electricity problem, not in South Africa, but across the world.
Keep your finger on the market pulse with the News Alerts tool. Stay up to date on the latest sentiment across all the major asset classes. Uncover bullish or bearish signals tied to specific assets that could be developing before major price moves, and track how news sentiment correlated with price in the past. Track the news volume on an asset, its fear index, and get a better feel for its underlying strength. All with News Alerts, your central hub for market information. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Boom Market Stock Show. This is your host, Rian Hobson, and we're doing actually the whole entire coal story. Now, just to get to my story, but before I get there, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page. There's a link below. Please click on the link, register on markets.com, register your account with $250 and get classes absolutely free. What I think, we will actually get one hell of an explosion when it comes to commodities. So let me just get into it. Now, this is actually rich nations. This is the article. Rich nations head to South Africa seeking a coal exit deal. Now, this is then, it goes on, the world's coal-based power generation. Now, this is what they say. This is now 2020. By 2030, we as South Africa need to be at least 1/3 down with coal, and then by 200, by 2050, we will actually be exiting coal. Now, that is what is being forecast, and not just for South Africa, but for across the world, because coal is dirty, we need to get rid of it. And also there was a lot of banks, even in South Africa, Standard Bank, who stated, I think it was a few years ago, that they will have nothing to do with coal anymore, and they will not invest it. Now, if we look at the data, I think they literally now are blaming themselves. If you look at the data, which I explained yesterday, this was coal, or this is actually coal. Coal is actually been flying up and it's still continuing going up. And as things stand, it's getting winter in the Northern Hemisphere. And I think coal will actually go further up. Now, there was also this one thing in Britain where they actually stated that they will stop their power, the coal power system for generating electricity. By 2025, they will have their last coal plant on, and it will stop in 2025. So they've been making progress actually to get rid of these old coal power stations. Now, this was actually the story in the UK. I will just share it now with you. The UK will stop using coal power in just 3 years. That was the article. And this article was on the 1st of July, 2021. Bam! 7 September 2021, UK fires up coal power plants as gas prices starts to soar. Now, the thing is, the UK has enormous amount of money, or I would say the Western countries or the rich nations, as they stated, have enormous amount of power or enormous amount of money to get all this wind power and all of these things to generate actually power, but it didn't work. The thing is, the wind stopped blowing in Europe, and that's why they didn't have enough battery capacity to actually to push on for basically enough to get electricity for winter. So now they come to South Africa and say, hold on here, you guys need to exit coal. Are you serious? I mean, things are falling apart across the world when it comes to electricity. There's also another article, and this is actually something that I did discuss yesterday, where they say China coal shortage means higher prices for the world. Look, China is now everywhere looking now for coal because they want to buy coal because winter is approaching. I don't know why the globalists, I will say, jumping on the occasion, trying to change everybody's life in an instant. I mean, they said they're going to get everything done by solar and wind and all of those things. And everybody must get to that agreement by 2030. Everything must be done. 2050, we will be finished with coal. You have to look now realistically. You need to change the whole bloody entire world to get your agenda done. Look, honestly speaking, with this whole thing, they just rush it. And that's why a guy that I can mention, the 44th president of the United States, he was actually getting out of the Paris Accord because he knew that there would be problems when it comes to energy, for producing energy. Now, honestly speaking, it just doesn't make sense for everybody to go off coal. And obviously, there's a lot of coal plants that they literally did not invest anymore. And that is now the issue. That's why coal prices are actually going through the roof, as I just said now. Now, what is the implications for this, especially when it comes to a trader? The thing, oh, there's someone actually putting out something. Hi, Rian, is there a live chat group also when you sign up? NJ, we will just do the classes actually on the weekend, and then we will have actually live classes in a very close group. And then we have live classes when I need to trade or when I will give a signal out when we need to trade. Thanks for the question. I was just actually attending to the question. And so the main thing is with this whole coal thing, coal is get used for a lot of things, not just for electricity, but for other factors also when it comes to steel and those type of things. So that's why I'm saying that we will get to a commodity explosion because one, if coal prices go up, not if, coal prices literally going up because there's now pressure on coal and a lot of fund managers did not invest in coal anymore. So, which means they have to now get coal somewhere, obviously South Africa, Australia, and it will put a lot of pressure on the coal prices, and there's also supply chain problems. Now, that is one of the problems. And then two, the other thing, the gas prices is increasing because obviously the green story didn't work out. Now they need to fire up these power stations and also need to get natural gas also to get warm now for the winter. Now, those factors will actually now relate to a hell of an explosion when it comes to commodities, especially if you look at gold, silver, iron, all of those commodities will increase because obviously when I talk to gold, I'm talking more in the prospects of inflation because inflation will start to go up because obviously there's a heavy demand now for commodities, especially when it comes to energy commodities. So this can lead to a catastrophe, and especially now that the winter is approaching in the Northern Hemisphere. They are scrambling now when it comes to coal and is scrambling now for gas. And that is now putting pressure on all of us across the world. Honestly, you can prepare, which is a podcast that I will do tomorrow, for actually for a commodity explosion for the next few months ahead. Now, that is it from my side. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page. Register your free account below where you just have to deposit $250 and I will give you classes absolutely free. And then definitely you will also benefit out of this economic explosion. That's it from my side. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.